Hello everybody! In today's episode of Chill Gaming News, we're going to talk about the My Time at Evershine bombshell, Chef RPG's roadmap, Mirthwood's disappointing news, two major announcements from cozy survival games Planet Crafter and Astroneer, Go-Go Town's big update, and 3 new game releases, including a cute but deliciously ominous farming sim, and a free open-world chill survival game with a new tropical update. If you like relaxing games, you don't want to miss the latest news, so stay tuned. In case you haven't heard, a huge upcoming cozy adventure game was recently announced, My Time at Evershine, which is the 3rd game in the series. If you liked My Time at Portia and Sandrock, but desired a more concise story, an art style where the characters look more mature and realistically proportioned, a polished multiplayer experience, mod support, and an easier building interface, then you might want to add My Time at Evershine to your wishlist. The twist in My Time at Evershine is that you play as governor of the Evershine settlement, where you'll be tasked with building homes and recruiting settlers until you have successfully claimed all available territories and can help your alliance deter the rival empire from invading. Of course, there will be romance, a rich story, and villains as in the previous games, but I'm quite intrigued to play the governor's role and to see the new art style, as it looks quite similar to Palia at first glance. Apparently, I'm not alone in my interest in My Time at Evershine, as their recent Kickstarter has achieved insane success, raking in $1 million in pledges in just over a day, and currently sitting just shy of 1.5 million. Holy Toledo, that's insane. We'll have to wait until spring of 2026 for the full release onto PC and consoles, but alpha access is available through Kickstarter backing. And yes, I bought into the hype and pledged at an alpha level. What can I say? I have serious FOMO issues. And speaking of the My Time series, My Time at Sandrock is releasing their free version 1.4 update on October 8th, paired with another paid DLC called Love Chronicles. There were quite a few commenters upset about the DLC not being included with the update, and that the team is making more paid content at a time when supporters just backed them with nearly $1.5 million for My Time at Evershine. But I look at it as they're trying to pay their team to keep creating new content for Sandrock to keep it fresh and exciting. Paid games like Deep Rock Galactic offer even pricier DLCs, which players readily support. Shut up, I know it says I own them all. This is literally the only game that my entire family will play together, so I love to support it. But this just proves my point. If people like and believe in games, many will buy the DLCs just to show their love for the game and desire to help it continue. If you don't like the DLCs, you don't have to buy them. Okay, enough drama, let's move on to news and updates. Chef RPG is a cozy cooking life sim that released on September 12th. It's beautiful, has super cool building designs, villagers meandering everywhere, and you get to make tons of decisions about your restaurant, from the menu to the decor and when you're open for business. The early access roadmap was just revealed, so I want to share the highlights on what's cooking in the Chef RPG kitchen. One of the most requested features has been controller and Steam Deck support, and the ability to rebind controls. And this is all planned for next month's update. I sorely missed being able to use my controller to play Chef RPG, so I'm highly anticipating this update. Beyond November, the next update is planned for spring, featuring festivals and world events, new bosses and side quests, expanded romance opportunities, and a somewhat contentious chef mode. This chef mode will offer a challenging and intense restaurant experience where the player must spend each day preparing the restaurant and operating it at night. It won't be as relaxing or offer the player freedom to focus on exploration and relationships and tending to the restaurant as desired. Those who prefer the OG gameplay style can then opt for the story mode. So it's a nice option to help adapt the game to differing gaming styles, but as many of the commenters questioned, would it be better to focus on balancing and perfecting the current game before diving into this quite different experience? Whatever happens, I'm definitely continuing in story mode for the chill vibes and autonomy. Following this will be the Fall 2025 fishing update with added fishing areas, quests, and minigames, and then all the way to the summer of 2026 for the full 1.0 release, which will complete the story as well as introduce new areas and characters. That seems like so far in the future. But in the 9 hours I've played Chef RPG, I found the early access version to be quite enjoyable with the content that's already been served to us. Oh, and the Chef RPG soundtrack just dropped on Steam for about $6. I bought it, and it's actually the background music for this video. In other gaming news, you may have heard that Mirthwood has delayed their release from September 11th to November 6th. As much as I anticipated playing this curiously dark farming RPG, the timing with Critter Cove and Chef RPG releases was stressing me out, so I love having this to look forward to next month. The Mirthwood team wasn't satisfied with the game's performance and wanted to further polish and optimize it, improve the localization, and tweak some of the game systems. This decision no doubt negatively impacted the team's budget, and gosh, I respect them for waiting and rectifying issues instead of rushing the game out into early access and disappointing consumers. Next, I have some exciting news about two space-themed survival games we all know, Planet Crafter and Astroneer. Both games announced their first ever DLCs. Planet Crafter is adding a whole new planet to terraform in their Planet Humble DLC, which has yet to list a release date. But in my opinion, this is a DLC done right. Not only does the team claim it will be offered at a low price, but also only one player will need a copy of the DLC for all co-op participants to enjoy the content. Clearly, this isn't a money grab, but is instead a way for fans of the game to enjoy affordable extra content and support a small development team to help them continue adding to the Planet Crafter experience. Astroneer's DLC called Glitchwalkers will be releasing later this year and features new biomes, a rival Astroneer who feels threatened by your encroachment into their territory, a new tech tree, new narrative, and much more. Although I bought Astroneer because of its cozy survival and aesthetic, I struggled so much with the awful tutorial that I never persevered. But this DLC makes me wish I could figure the gosh darn game out. Maybe I just need a Sherpa to guide me through the beginning of the game. And a final game with a noteworthy update is Go-Go Town, which launched their Build and Bustle update, their largest content update since releasing into early access back in June. My favorite part of the update is the new adorable little subway system which you can use to fast travel across your town, which has now expanded thanks to a larger map and new land that can be purchased using your ego points. There are also new visitor characters, over 70 new items to decorate your town, and parking spots where you can assign vehicles and recover them with the click of a button, which is very cool if you misplace your unicorn whip, which I'd never do. No. Not me. Now, how about some new cute and cozy game and demo releases? I don't suppose you've heard of this adorable little game where you create tiny cottages, full-on castles, and cozy countryside landscapes? I think it's called Tiny Glade or something. Okay, I'm just kidding. Y'all know this one. It's one of the hottest new releases on Steam, but I just can't play it. It's only $15, and seeing the jaw-dropping builds others have created is euphoric, but I'm not at all artistic and prefer games with more of a practical purpose for base building, so I don't think it would maintain my interest, but it has glowing reviews and is undoubtedly worth considering for you artsy cozy gamers. I literally can't contain my excitement for this next one, Grimshire. The demo recently dropped on Steam. I played it over the weekend, and wow, is it cool! Similar to Mirthwood, it's part farming sim with a grim aesthetic as well as a dark narrative to match. The game began with what looked like a crime scene, starring yours truly as the cute white bunny lying motionless on the ground. And no, I'm not going to tell you what happened, but I did live, at least temporarily, and one of my main goals was to grow crops to keep the root cellar stocked and to help my new fellow villager friends survive the plague. I told you it was dark. There's also fishing with a cool wiggle mechanic, foraging, mining, animal taming, and romance. I love how there's a crucial purpose to farming: to survive, not just to make money to spend on trivial materialistic items and decor. But remember how I said it's a dark narrative? Well, be prepared to attend a lot of funerals. So yeah, if you want something other than a sugary sweet cookie-cutter farming sim RPG, try the Grimshire Demo. Breaking news! I stopped the presses to add this little note about Moonstone Island's free festivals update that just went live. In addition to 3 new seasonal events, you'll get 4 new spirits, some more adorable than others, and you can finally change the style of your spirit barn with new exteriors. There's also new dialogue, decor, and an autumn DLC with spooky accessories for your home. If you haven't already played Moonstone Island, I highly recommend it. It's a very well-polished creature collector farming and life sim for PC and Nintendo Switch, and it's currently on sale for $13 on Steam and GOG. Now, back to your regularly scheduled program. And finally, I have to mention the new Lego Fortnite Lost Isles update, which adds a vibrant tropical expansion to your world with beaches, floating islands, and jungle areas that feature our once lost friend, Klombo. Of course, there's a new Lego Pass with some free rewards and really cool builds, and Peely outfit if you purchase the premium track. Because I know many of you aren't overly familiar with Fortnite, I feel it worth reiterating that Lego Fortnite is a completely free, permanent mode within the Fortnite game, which is also free. It's entirely separate from the regular Fortnite Battle Royale, and you can play it on cozy mode without combat or survival mechanics, or play in full-on survival mode. Plus, and this is the really cool part, you can give friends keys to your world so they can play when you're not even in the game. Basically, Lego paid Fortnite a crap load of money which made this all possible, and I think Lego Fortnite is a highly overlooked survival and cozy adventure game simply because people think it's like Fortnite, but it's not. Although, I wish there was a Lego Battle Royale mode where you could just bust out a shoddy and pop your neighbor into little Lego bits and pieces. Well, this just took a dark turn, sorry. And that's going to do it for this episode of chill, cozy, and slightly disturbing gaming news. With my time at Evershine's announcement and shocking Kickstarter success, Chef RPG's ambitious roadmap, Mirthwood's delayed release, Planet Crafter and Astroneer's first DLCs, fast travel and big expansions in Go-Go Town, and the new releases of Tiny Glade, Grimshire's Demo, and Lego Fortnite's beautiful free island update. From super chill cozy games to cute survival and adventure games, there's a fresh new game for you to discover or hop back into thanks to recent updates. Please comment below with your favorite games from this episode or any gaming news I missed. Drop a pumpkin emoji in your comment if you made it this far. Tickle that like button if you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.